Hello everyone, welcome to Columbia Asia Hospital Tebrau. I am Wani, the dietitian. Today, in conjunction of International Women's Day, I would like to share with all the ladies out there on how to meal prep, especially to those busy and hectic women. We all know that eating healthy food is very important for a healthy body. Nowadays, there are a lot of convenient food like fast food, processed food, preserved food, and also ready-to-eat food available at the market or even the restaurants. These are the reasons why people are cooking less often. Besides, this convenient food can be expensive and high in sugar, fat, oil as well, which is not good for our health. Thus, here come the concept of meal prep in order to guide all the ladies out there in getting nutritious food throughout the days. Okay, a bit of introduction for meal prep. Meal prep is the concept of plan, prepare, a complete whole meal or dishes ahead of a schedule. For example, we plan what are we going to cook for the entire week during our weekend or during our holidays. And of course, having a pre-prepared meals have a lot of benefits that help us to reach the nutrition goals. First, of course, it saves money. You don't have to worry about spending your money outside buying food and drinks as you have all the things needed in the kitchen. Besides, all the convenience food is much more expensive as compared to cooked food. Second, of course, save time. You don't have to be in the kitchen looking at the fridge, thinking what are you going to cook for breakfast, lunch, dinner for tomorrow or for the day after tomorrow. So you don't have to think about that since you have already in plan. Then, of course, it reduces food waste. Learning to make meals with overlap in ingredients help us to cut down on food waste as we know what exactly in the fridge and how are we going to use it. For example, we use the same vegetable that we cook tom yum for the dinner. For the dinner, we can plan to cook mixed veggie using the same vegetables. And last, of course, it helps to reduce stress. You don't have to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, stressing yourself thinking what to cook as you have already in plan. There are different ways to meal prep. First, make ahead meals, which means that we prepare a complete meals in advance, then we place in the container and we refrigerated it, and during our meal time, we can reheat them. Second, we pack into individually portioned meals. We prepare all the complete meals and portion it already in individual grab and go portion. Then we keep it, and during our mealtime, we can reheat it. So it prevents us from reheat in bulk quantities. And last, of course, ready to cook ingredients, which means that we cut all the things, we just prepare all the ingredients that we need to cook the food and keep it in the different container. During meal assembly, we just use all the item, take it out from the container. Here are some of the quick tips for all the ladies out there. First, keep your pantry well stocked. Try to buy a long-lasting vegetables, for example, like potatoes, carrot. You can buy green leafy vegetable but aim to use it within the first 3 days of life, since these items are perishable easily and very delicate. Stock plenty of dried pasta as these items have a long shelf life. Keep a selection of other long life carbohydrates like rice, dry noodles like bihun, mee, lentils, and couscous. Stock useful condiments, dry herbs, and variety of nuts. And aim to buy wet food once a week to retain the freshness. Don't buy wet food for a month and keep in your fridge as the freshness level will drop day by day. Okay, keep in tight container and make sure to label all the items with the expiry date. Second, plan meals for the entire week. Do menu planning in order to save time and our money as well, as it guides us to a healthy food and ensure freshness of the items. It also helps us to guide to buy only necessary items during groceries. Okay, and try to be creative by using recipe which have overlap in ingredients as I mentioned just now. And after grocery, you can marinate all the ingredients, prepare all the paste beforehand. And during the meat assembly, you just need to take it out from the fridge and and assemble your meal. You don't need to cut your onion, your surai, and blend all the things. Third, make the most of your fridge. Buy meat and chicken already sliced to save our time. Okay. Second, keep items separately into different container or zipper bag in order to save space in the fridge. Make sure to use all the perishable items first, like I mentioned just now, green leafy vegetables. Buy milk or dairy products in a small size in order to minimize space and maintain the freshness. For example, instead of buying 1 liter of milk, we can buy the 200 ml of milk, which is in individual portion. It can prevent us from overdrink or overeat as well. Next, frozen food should be kept at freezer. And during the meat assembly, we need to defrost at the chiller. Make sure to seal open food or box properly in order to avoid cross-contamination. And during grocery, you can choose hard fruits instead of watery fruits in order to maintain the freshness. And aim to use the watery fruits, for example, like pineapple or watermelon within the first few days. Hard fruit example like guava, apple, which have a long shelf life. Next, use FIFO method, first in, first out. Whatever comes in must go out first. Next, make grocery list. Okay, make a grocery list every weekend during your free day and aim to choose fresh food rather than frozen or canned food, as all the nutrition content will deteriorate as time goes by. Okay, and buy only the listed item based on meal planning and make sure to make the smart choice. Instead of buying full cream milk, you can choose for the low fat milk. And before buying items, you can be a good consumer. Go through the food label and make a proper decision. Last, of course, be creative to avoid boredom. Instead of drinking plain milk, you can change it into smoothie or milkshake. Instead of eating plain bread, you can change it into bread butter pudding or sandwich. Tortilla, maybe you can change it to tortilla wrap. You make it into a complete meal. Okay, here are some take-home message. Avoid refreeze store food. Store food can be eaten only once. Don't put hot food into the refrigerator. Let it cool down to room temperature or until the steam has stopped rising from the food. And during grocery, aim to buy the wet items at the end of the trip to maintain the freshness. Make sure don't overcook in order to prevent nutrient loss. And we can reheat food only once to maintain the nutrient content and freshness. And be mindful of proper temperature. Ensure that the freezer temperature is negative 18 and below, and the chiller temperature is 5 degrees and below. In order to save your time at the kitchen, you can use small cut tiny chunk of food as well. Okay, that's all from me. I hope all the ladies out there can get some idea on how to meal prep in order to prepare a nutritious food for yourself or even for your family. So happy International Women's Day to all the ladies out there. Bye.